We're back for another episode of Different Kind of Genius. I'm your host, Andre Kufe. This week's episode, it's a special one. It's going to be real different as well. I was fortunate enough to have a conversation with one of my idols called Poet, who lives over in the UK. It's a sick episode, it's something different, and shit, I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. And while I have you all, me and Liam would just like to say a big thank you to everybody who's been watching and supporting us. Without you guys, we honestly wouldn't be doing shit. Otherwise, there'd be no weekly episodes and there'd be nothing. So we'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone that's been supporting us, and I hope it all continues. Yeah, and aside from that, I hope you enjoy the episode. Let me know what you guys think. Stay safe, peace out, one love. Peace.
All right, I'll record again.
Can you see me clear and shit, or do you need me to come closer?
Clear as fuck.
Perfect. Well, honestly, bro,
yeah,
I was just thinking for this, I was like, I don't even know really where to begin. So I was just like, I'll just ask you the one question that I ask all my guests.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I think I'll probably do it the official way. Like, I'll introduce us both.
Yeah.
I'll just say what's up. And just give us a 30-second version of who you are. Because honestly, bro, in Australia, like, you're fucking so underground. I was telling everyone about this, and they're like, who? I'm like, how did none of you...
No, I hear that. No, yeah. I fucking hear that. Not everyone even knows me in this country. Like, I'm never arrogant thinking I'm bare known. Like,
bro, I'm so happy you played that. Oi, if you see skits, can you tell the man there's homies in Australia that love Vibba?
Serious. Skits
we listen to that, bro.
Fucking love him. He's such a good guy. Like, proper stand-up guy.
Bro, I hear that. But I think we're all like that sometimes. Sometimes we all just need to take life a little bit more serious.
Yeah, man. Like, I take life mad serious. Maybe sometimes a bit too serious, but I'm just like, it's my life, innit? Like, I don't really have much opportunities to do what I've got to do. So any opportunity I get, I try and take it as serious as I can.
Straight up. And not only, bro, the last positive comment I'm going to give you, only because it changed my life when I heard it.
Yeah.
Bella Inverse with Bell Her In, and the triple entendre with the soccer player. When I heard that shit, I lost my mind. I was like, Poet, you are a bad man.
Thank you, man. I really try. I'll be honest with you, I probably take a lot of time into what I do, because I always think to myself, wow, like, there's bare people listening, there's bare people watching. I would hate for there to be one person that thinks I'm kind of good, I guess, and I'm disappointing them. Like, that's what would hurt the most, if I had to walk up to somebody who actually cares about my shit and explain why I'm not good, or why I've been bad, or why I haven't been good. I'm like, that's dead. I'd rather make that one person happy, even if it doesn't amount to no money. They actually care about what I do. So
straight facts. And bro, I remember you saying it on Gasworks. Like, Elham was saying something. You're like, you'd have no idea how hard I've been working on people to acknowledge me for my rap. Bro, that's like, there's still videos of you on YouTube with you and Scribs in like fucking 2011, like dancing in an old rave, rapping, bro.
Proper, bro. Like, it was like, imagine I was DJing at 10 years old. Like, 10 years old, I used to DJ. So when I accidentally fell into this entertainment thing and I had to sort of leave music alone for a little while, it hurt. It was like leaving your, like, it's like leaving, well, not like leaving your kids, it's just a lot worse. But it is bad, though, when you stop doing something you want to do for a while, and then you just think to yourself, fuck it, I want to do it again. But I'm actually going to come back and reinvent myself completely. So, like, a brand new audience doesn't even think, oh my God, is he the guy that done that song from years ago? They just take it in with like fresh ears.
True.
So,
I got a quick question. Why do you want to reinvent yourself, though, for that? That's just for my own personal self.
Reinventing yourself is very important. It's very important because you have to understand that the person that you were at a particular time was right for the climate. And if you then stay within that climate and that proximity without spreading your wings and growing beyond the time period, what happens is you're stuck in a climate and people only associate you with nostalgia or throwback. And if you want to move forward and stand the test of time, you have to test yourself, and you have to say to yourself, what version of me would work today? And it's not an overthought process to the point where in which you make it very strategic, but you try and align yourself with real life every single day. That way you're never really out of sync. Like, I always know what's happening. I know the new rappers coming up, not because I'm making a conscious effort, because that's just a part of my life. Like, I will just go and watch new shit, and I'm inspired by a lot of new things, which means that I'm always going to stay fresh by default, just because I like to look at new things. I always love new stuff. I think new stuff has more to teach me than something that's been here for time.
Well, bro, straight, like, how you going to learn from the same shit you always experience?
Yeah, that's why me talking to you right now, like, this is lit. I'm going to learn more from this than probably you're going to learn. Do you know what I mean? And I appreciate this so much as you may appreciate, you know what I'm saying? I would never want you to think that I need this more than you and you need this more than me. We'll never know. But one thing we do know is that, like, we're having a cool convo. So who cares, like, the reason behind it? You can do it, innit?
Like, you're on it, like, fuck. You're honestly like me. I love conversation. I don't know why, man, but like, I don't want to have small talk with people. Like, I don't want to talk about the weather and shit. I'm happy to acknowledge that, but it's like, I want to know about you.
Yeah, well, I don't want to know about everyone, but some people are really...
Facts.
Yeah, like you, for example, you're mad interesting. Like, you're in Australia, you've grown up completely different to me, but somehow you like what I do. Like, that's weird to me. Like, that's very weird. Not weird in the sense of what you do, and weird in the sense of, oh my God, how have I got the ability to even appeal to someone in Australia who hasn't lived the way I lived, doesn't really talk the way I talk, don't grow up in the things that I grew up, but I've connected with them. Like, that is very special to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
I get you.
mad overwhelming, bro. Like very overwhelming. Like, it's so much more different than getting love in your city. I get loads of love in my city, but love abroad just feels so like, what have I done to deserve this type of thing? Like, I appreciate it so much.
Bruv, like, fuck, I've already told you. It's like, I'm so thankful for that opportunity. But at the same time too, man, like, Australia's different, yeah? There's not much going on. Like, there is, do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, trust me, bruv, there's no one that looks like you and there's no cunt that looks like me. So it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, so for me, like, I use things like YouTube. So like, from the age of like 2007, like, my idols were different to the same kids that I went to school with. Like, they looked up to like football players and shit. Not we have AFL here, which is not soccer, but that's what we call our football. Anyway, bro, it's fucking garbage. So it's just like, oh, it's great because it's our national sport, but like, that's not what appealed to me. So for me, I had to go elsewhere to find my stuff. And I never listened to American rap. I really only fuck with like British, like UK rap. And I think
that's mad.
Bro, I found you. And I think it was because...
That's mad.
Remember your That's a Rap ciphers back in the day?
That was lit, yeah.
Bro, like, I think that's what put me on to a lot of the rappers I still listen to now. And I think I grew up watching that whole elevation, like watching you guys all elevate to the level you're all at today.
Yeah, like, there's so much people that I had on That's a Rap.
Bro, so many.
I forget that they come up to me like, Paul, thank you for putting me on That's a Rap. I'm like, what? Like Tigger the Author, Avellino.
Listen to those names, bro.
Fam, there's so much people. I've actually, my head's, because it's mad early and I just smoked, like, I've forgotten bare shit. But I'm telling you, like, sometimes I'm like, what do you mean? Shay Lingo, for example. Like, there are so many rappers that I've put on that show that have propelled and grown and got bigger. Scribs is there, and who's the guy with the scar? How can I forget his name?
Anyway, yeah. No, I don't remember the one with the scar.
There's a guy with a scar as of recently, but he got really, really big. He done a Tuna Cadet where they sat in the car and they were spitting back to back.
True. Yeah, but like, honestly, that's how a fucking brother all the way from Australia finds someone like yourself. And you know what was even more nuts? The worst thing about that disconnect was, until like Instagram and Facebook started, there was no way to even engage with you on like, not a personal level, because it's like you can only really get so far. But like, unless I commented on the YouTube thing and like someone from your team responded, it was like, that was it.
Yeah, I think that's what made it so crazy. That whole, sorry to talk so much, but that...
No, wait, bro, talk all you want, because this is exactly what I wanted. And I didn't know how to write it, so let's just do this.
So it's like, what I find interesting about that, which I think is so lit, is that at that time, coming out in YouTube, you were still looked at as a superstar to a certain extent because you wasn't reachable. Yeah, you could leave a comment and I might read it, but there's no guarantee that we're going to have an interaction. Introduction of social media has brought things back to a very human level. And the only quote-unquote celebrities that survive are the people that are actually decent people or have a good way of hiding their fuckery. But everybody else getting revealed. You can take a look at Charlie Sheen. clearly he has struggled with a social media era, because it just means that we can see you smashed out your face at a fucking drive-through and now come to our own conclusion on why we like you or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I find it very interesting, man.
I
I'm
get
glad
that
that
completely. Like, it's almost like because we only celebrate our wins through social media, when we participate in some fuckery and someone catches it, it exposes us. Because people
and it doesn't even expose much. It just exposes what happened. And then as people, we're led to believe, because the saddest thing about social media is, for example, whatever you think of me, I have no control over it. I have no control over it. You just think whatever you think because of how you've consumed my information. So if I do something to disappoint you, I'm not even aware that I may have disappointed you, because that could just be what I do. But for you, it's like, I've consumed this information. I never knew this about you. I've seen this now. I don't like you no more. And it's just like, that doesn't even make sense. Like,
Bro.
it doesn't make at all. Like, did you just genuinely think I was only the person that I showed you on social media? There's so much to me that loads of people don't know. And that goes for everyone. I'm not unique in this situation. So, yeah, social media is weird. It's the reasons why I stay in my house by myself a lot. It's very weird.
Bro, my fucking studio's in my house. Like, I live with 4 other cats, so I don't have to go nowhere. Like, everybody comes to me. I'm like, this is my house. I have all control. Like, none of it's happening.
That's me. My office is my house. So, like,
bro,
literally,
we're just so fortunate.
Huh?
Oh, I think I lagged then. What did you just say? Sorry? You're so fortunate to live in your house?
You said I'm fortunate. I said I'm lucky. Yeah, I'm fortunate. Because people just come to my house. I'll be like, I'll have a meeting in my house. Only bad things are tidy up, but apart from that, I'm not interested.
Wait, so I film my shit every week, and that's always the worst thing. Like, that's what's making me want to like take what I'm doing outside of my house. But then there are so many benefits. It's like, I'm going to wait till I outgrow the situation.
You know what? Yeah.
Hit me with
You
it.
just look at what's unique to you. Like, for example, me and Vuj got a podcast, yeah?
Bro, I'll watch it. Shout out. Hey, if you see Vuj, tell him young Don from Australia fucks with his shit.
100%.
And never go through your Instagram and read the messages I sent you from my personal account. Because you know when people try to cancel you, I got lifted one day, and just fucking like, I just sent you a message. I was like, fuck all them. Your real ones are beside you. Shout out to Alhan. Shout out to Vuj. Like, with friends like that, the internet cannot cancel you.
But the thing is, like, they can. I don't care.
Yeah, true.
You know what? Like, even if I got cancelled, bro, I've got to log off from this. I've got to go in real life. I've got to be a friend. I've got to be a father. I've got to be a son. I've got to be so much more things that are more, I think, important to me than being an internet persona. So would I be disappointed if I lost everything on the internet? 100%. Like, I've worked really hard to build it. So if it all disappeared, of course I'd be hurt. But at the end of the day, I think a huge responsibility for me is to be a good dad, is to be a good brother, is to be a good partner if I ever become a partner again one day. Those are more important situations that I can't log off from. Like, they're there in it. I'm going to be a dad for my whole life. So I'm more concerned with my development in that space than, like, if online everyone goes, we don't fucking parent no more. It's like, all right, cool, innit? Like,
that's real. And I think I said that almost from a selfish perspective of like, fuck, I'm going to lose connection to this cunt again. Like, it's like,
you know what? It's not going to it's lies.
Yeah, true.
The internet cannot tell me what's going on in real life, in terms of what's going on in real life, if I know what's going on in my real life. So if the internet wants to say that I'm a prick and I'm all of these things, that has to be displayed day to day in my real life, not just when I log on Twitter. Yeah. And I'm very socially aware to know if I make mistakes or if I do things to people. Like, I'm not an idiot. So long story short, I walk in my area all the time. Every day I go to, like, the hood. I talk to people. I'm sitting around. Like, I do enough in real life to know that the online persona is just how people may perceive me online. And it's not even how everyone perceived me. Like, that message you sent me, I got so much messages of support around that time. It was just like, this is not, cancel culture is nonsense. It's just a classroom of 30 people and there's just like 4 students that are annoying. So now it becomes a bad class. And it's just like, it's a small minority of people that are saying all of these things about me. But I expect that because that's all the information they have on me. They don't even know me. So it's like, I expect you to think that. I'm not even upset that you think that. I get why you think that. I'm just not that interested in your level of thought because it doesn't leave any room for change. It just says, this is who you are. We're going to cancel you. And it's just like, bro, like no one agrees with you really. Like,
yeah, straight up.
This is bollock.
And then I guess for you, it was just unfortunate that it fucked with like the hand that feeds you. Well, no, but it didn't, because you were able to walk away from it and you were just like, fuck it. I mean, and not only that, I think Chucky said it best, but look at all the positives that's come from your life since then.
Bro, I look at all the positives that come from my life every day. I'm sitting down speaking to you like, bro, everything's a process. Life is one long process. And at the end of it, I'll find out if all the decisions I made were great or poor. Like, I'm not going to question a lot of things that happen now, because it's just how it makes me feel in the immediate present. I have no idea how I feel a year from now. So unless it's immoral, I don't really care. It's not immoral. Like, what happened at Copenhagen was more unfortunate for them, not for me.
Straight up.
Because I didn't go back on what I said. I consistently said what I said. I stood up to what I had done wrong. I still will stand beside it. I'm just not willing to take responsibility of it anymore, in a sense of like, it's not my child. I'm not going to walk around with it. I accept what I did was wrong and I've moved forward. Now, if you can't move forward from someone I was in the past, that just can't be my problem. That means you're fixated with a version of me that doesn't exist no more. What's that got to do with me? So the fact that it was in my place of work, it's like, wait. You lot have been with me for 7 years. You've seen my development. But now some people have identified some silly things that I said up to 2 years ago, up to 5 years ago, before I even worked at Copenhagen. And you're going to stay with that impression because of social currency and because of finances. If that's how the business runs, cool. I'm out. I don't mind that, because I'm a human being. I'm going to make mistakes. Like, I don't want to be in an environment where I'm imprisoned. I see a lot of presenters and people that they can't even do what they want in life. And I'm not saying express everything on camera, by no means at all. But, bruv, you can't even be who you want to be. You can't even say what you like. You can't even say what you dislike.
Bruv, I hear that completely.
Long, bruv. Before you know it, you'll be on television saying all types of fuckery because you've been imprisonated for so long. So long. It's like when I see these young people that are imprisonated in their home, can't socialize, and then they go university and just do all types of drugs, fucking bear people. They just do so much because they've been imprisoned for so long. They don't even know what life's like. So now that they're exposed to it, they're just going to do everything. And that's what a lot of these presenters are doing, fam. They're imprisoning their lives into being this great person. And then when a mistake happens, they fucked up everything, fam, because they've never been human. Absolutely everything fucked up. So yeah, that's a long-rooted way of saying I'm happy that situation happened, because Copenhagen had to reveal their true colours, and they realised that the large group of people that engaged with their channel didn't like what they were actually showing. So I'm cool with that, man. That's a decision they have to live with. I move forward. I'm still going to try and be a great dad.
Bro. And shout out to Zahn and Khalifa. Like, fuck. I hope they're both doing well, bro.
I haven't seen them in a very long while, unfortunately for me, but I go to see them at the end of the month because I just wanted to sort out a couple of things with work.
True.
I want to still be able to provide for them. So, yeah, I'm going to see my...
Don't worry. Like, and not only that, you're fucking so gifted to have twins. Like, when I saw that shit happen, I was like, this man's living the life that I want to live. I was like, if I ever have kids, like, fucking oath, I pray that they're fucking twins, because that'd be so dope. Wait,
yeah, my twin.
But it was interesting. Since you were talking about all that, I'm fucking curious. Like, I have one question that I ask everyone that comes on my show. And you'd have... I'm just mad interested to hear what you have to say, so I'm just going to ask. But, Poet, what's one thing you wish you were told as a youth?
Nothing.
Elaborate.
I find it very hard to read people's stories. I find it very hard to, and this could be a personal problem, but I find it very hard to engage with another person's story because I only appreciate it to a point. I think your story as a man growing up in Australia could just be as significant as mine. I just have a bigger platform to project and propel my story on. And what happens is, in life, we get lost in thinking that an individual who has great success by society's terms, we begin to think that their story is any more important than anybody else's. And I'm glad I can't tell myself anything when I was younger, because I'm glad I had to live it, to learn it, to know and find out that way. Because had the process of me telling myself when I was younger been effective, then I would have been very, very good in school. But I wasn't. I had to be bad in school in order to understand that, you know what, there are things that you should take serious in order to understand that when I get to this point, that my job, all the mistakes I've made in my past up until now have brought me to a point where I'm a very, very serious person. I make sure I take care of my stuff extremely well. Like, without making any of those things and any of those mistakes, not having any of that, I never would have known what I know today. So for me to have given myself advice when I was younger, it would almost be like a regret of something I've done today, but I regret nothing. So essentially, I wouldn't have told myself anything.
Bro, fuck. You know what's funny as? That's probably the best answer, and that was definitely not what I was expecting. And then all it reminded me is, I forget how fucking mentally tough you actually are. Like, how, like, that ability to not regret anything, like, how did you learn that? Or it's just something you've always practiced?
No, it hasn't. Because I used to, like, I really love my family and my friends. I really love my children. I really love my friends. I really love my family. And I didn't celebrate a lot of moments with my family and my friends for a long period of time. I spent more time talking about what we could have done that was better. I spent more time talking about what was wrong and all of these other stuff. And no one don't want to hear that shit. No one wants to hear that. That's not helping anyone. So I started focusing and channeling my energy to, like, balance and giving as much criticism as I'm giving good faith. And then all that happens is you're basically saying to people, I love where you are, you know, but these are the things that you've learned from your past. How are you going to help that improve your future? And I think that's a better way of speaking. So then all that happens is you don't regret the mistakes you make, because without it, you wouldn't have learned that much. And nothing that we do is going to be immoral. I'm not going to kill anyone, hopefully. I'm not put in a situation, God bless, man. I got no plans to. But I've got no plans to do anything that provides a huge amount of discomfort in terms of shock value. I'm not going to do anything like that. So I don't have to second guess what I'm doing. I just have to live life, continue to make sure that I'm very aware that I have to give a bigger amount of positive energy purely because of my platform and the amount of attention to detail people put to me. I have to make sure that if there's problems, I'll sort it out. Don't worry, because if I let you know there's a problem, you're going to think it's 20 times worse than it is. It's okay, because you're going to compare it to your own life. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying is I haven't always been like this, but I see the value in being like this purely because it helps everyone in and around me. And I love my friends. I love my family. I want to create the best environment for them possible. And I think that only way that's possible in my head is to let them understand everyone made mistakes. Like, if you believe in the Bible, Jesus had Judas at his table, chilling out, eating a food. Like, that essentially was the reason he died. But he hasn't even used that as a mistake, because he got rebirthed. And then, like, this whole book has been made of his story, which has helped hundreds, thousands, millions of people. So was that really in vain? I doubt it. Maybe that death is what needed to happen in order for there to be a huger impact on people. So yeah, man, like, I can't regret the past, man. You just can't.
Bro, and if you do, like, fuck, it's going to impact the future things that can happen. That's just not worth it.
It's not worth it. Why would you tarnish tomorrow? Like, man, you only learned what you learned yesterday to help you today to prepare for tomorrow.
That's a bar, bruv. That's literally a bar. Like, fuck. No, like, man, poet, you're a G. And I don't know how much time you have. Do you have a little bit more time? Or do
I
you
have
need
as
to
long
keep
as you want,
moving?
bro. It's cool, man.
True. Well, fuck.
Yeah, you're cool. I have a lot of time for people like you. You're cool, man. When you're ready to say, I got to go, you go, fam. I don't give a shit.
Appreciate that, brother. I really do.
Yeah, it's lit.
Fuck. I guess, man, tell me about life. Because I'm curious, like, to me, what was life like growing up in the UK for when you did it? Because I've, like, traveled a lot as a kid. I was fortunate enough in my early stage. And I used to live in the UK for, like, I think it was about 6 months. And fuck, the shit I saw then, people complain about Australia being bad. I'm like, none of you have any idea. Like, every hood, like, every world's got its different social issues.
Yeah.
But I think it's because you're in such a large populated area, like just London. Whereas Australia, like, I swear your whole population size of London, like, we've got that spread out fucking, like,
Everywhere.
Yeah, so we're not going to have a large population of people just, like, committing fuckery all at once.
But the thing is, you're going to have your own struggle that I can't relate to. So I never really try and compare my own struggle, because my own struggle frames my frame of mind a particular way. It wires it a particular way in terms of things. So what I consider a struggle, you might have a laugh at because of the way society is for you growing up and the way you've been wired. And it's always really important to understand the history of the place that you live to understand why everything's happening. Otherwise, you'll just be angry. So when I was younger, why can't everyone be nice? Why can't this? Why can't that? I'm questioning bare things. And I'm like, well, I always say, people get sick of it, but I always say, if you do believe in the Bible, it's not something I would say I believe in, but a lot of people do believe in religion to some extent. So we all agree it's the year 2019. So we know the world has been here for longer than 2019 years, but essentially after Christ for 2019 years. So after all that important information about Jesus Christ and he's done all of that, now you have this book and you have all of this information for 2019 years. So for me to complain about 25 years at the time of living or 23 years, that's absolutely nothing in comparison to what life has been. So my complaints are just like a grain of sand on the beach. So once I understand that, I'm like, all right, cool. So this is what I'm complaining about. But why is my environment like this? What's happening in my environment? What happened before me? What the hell is the reason for all of this today? That's what's important for me to find out. So if I take a look at England, I can say, all right, cool. At the time when I was growing up, it was bad, fam. It was very bad, in fact. Like, all this knife crime stuff, like knife crime was at its worst, I think, in 2001. True. In London. In 2001. And that's when I was in college. And bro, the amount of stabbings I saw, fights I saw, confrontation I saw, the amount of shit I saw growing up, bro, like, was mental, fam. I had police breaking into my yard when I was like 13, 14 years old, taking my dad. Like, I had a very, very weird relationship with my dad growing up. He was there and not there, in and out of prison. And there was bare, like, my childhood was fucked. I was exposed to far too much. My life was like watching Jerry Springer. Like, it was like an episode of Jerry Springer or Ricky Lake, or like, my mum used to watch chat shows religiously, and I just think it was an escapism from her own real life that I was just living in and not having a clue what was going on. So all of my struggles are so much more unique and centered around me that if I say it bothers me, it shouldn't bother anybody else that bothers me, because nobody is actually aware of the way in which I grew up. Little things like I didn't ride a bicycle for like 6 years because I fell off a bike when I was 14, smashed the side of my face. I had an audition to be in, I think it was Family Affairs, which was like a big soap in the UK. So I would have been in a soap. Like, I had a permanent role. So I would have just been an actor in the UK from 14, 15 years old. But I smashed the side of my face completely. Or it was that or Grange Hill. And everyone's come from Grange Hill. Like, every big, even Asher D was in Grange Hill. Or was it Grange Hill? Anyway, everyone was in Grange Hill. Asher D, I don't think it was actually. I think it was in other stuff. My point is this. It's like, bro, growing up was so difficult because I just went through things that only when I get older, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, acting was normal to me. At 13, I was in The Bill, one of the biggest shows in the UK.
I remember that. Yeah. They actually played it in Australia. When were you?
Yeah, exactly. I remember they played in Australia. I got paid for it being played in Australia. It was mad. So, yeah, they send you a poll like, yeah, your thing got played in Australia. Here's a certain amount of money. And I was like, this is weird. So me growing up like that, that was normal to me. So by the time it didn't happen no more, I was like, raw. And then I'm seeing bare people do big acting things. And I was like, raw, I could have done that. But instead of being like what my friends were very bitter. Oh, your mum messed the things up for you. And these people, and I was like, yeah, but that's lit because I've done it once. If I've done it once, I can do it again. So that was my mentality. But in my environment, I was the only person thinking like that. That is so hard. Bro. So when it comes to me to go, let me do YouTube, bro, bear in mind, I've not fought like anyone anyway. I'd done youth work before that, and I had like the most engaged youth club in the whole of Tottenham at one point. And these times I was like 17, 18 years old. So I've never fought like everyone. So that's been my struggle, always identifying things that I think we should do that could potentially make us really, really successful, whatever you deem as success. And no one understanding, bro. Like, hardest thing, forget about racism, forget about all of that, because those are situations that if I experience racism, at least there's a group of people that I can speak to. It doesn't make it any easier, I guess, but I find comfort in knowing that I'm not the only person that thinks like this. When it's full of career and nobody, I'm talking no one around me thinks like this, because it's hard, fam. Because you begin to think, are you crazy and shit? You're like, am I crazy for thinking that YouTube can be big?
Bro,
the only person that thought like me was my brother Kirk. I love that boy. My brother Kirk is my best friend.
Bro,
push record again, yeah?
Yeah, push record again, bro. That's just fucking
Sorry, bro.
Australian.
Just saying.
Nah, that was my fault. It's Australian internet. It's fucking trash. Like,
Lit.
it's windy outside, yeah, and it just turned it off. Bro, we have the worst internet for a fucking, like, what do you call us? Like, a Western country.
Yeah, but then like you've got guys that punch kangaroos when they're trying to get their dog attacked. So you lot are lit.
Bro, do you know how dangerous a fucking kangaroo is?
Yeah, I do. And
Like-
when that guy do that, I said, white people love dogs, man. That's lit.
What, a kangaroo?
Fam, go and fight that kangaroo. That is your investment. I fuck with that. I like when people fight for what they care about. That is really lit.
Bro.
Especially when it's positive. You channel that the right way. Oh my God, you've got a fucking great situation.
Well, none of that. It shows you really, really care.
Bro, I think it's good to people to show that they care. Even if it's in a unique way that we can't comprehend. I don't think we need to understand everything. We yearn for understanding, especially at the time. We don't need to understand it right here, right now. I don't think I'll ever understand why people kiss their dogs. But you know what? People kiss their dogs and they're happy. I'm happy for you. I don't think it damages anything. Kiss your fucking dog.
Bro, like, it's funny because I was stuck in this little rut like once upon a time because I always had to try and understand why things happened. And then I realized like shit just fucking happens.
And the thing is it depends. Like, I'll always want to understand what's happening with me because I think it's important for me to understand why things are happening in my life because I have to live with it. I don't want to be surrounded by things that I don't understand. It's not fair on me. It's not fair on anyone. But if something's happening in someone else's life and I may agree or disagree with it, but it makes them happy and they're not hurting anyone, bro, I just trust in time you'll find out what you should do. Go ahead.
I think we're talking just before we cut off. We're talking about like youth work.
You was a youth worker.
Yeah, so I still am.
That's lit.
Bro, you know what's fucked? And I hate to keep fucking pumping you up with it. But honestly, I reckon there's a time where I had no idea what to do with my life. Like, the fucking cunts around me weren't positive. No one around me was positive. I took it upon myself to fucking move cities. Like, completely move cities. Just fucking did it on my own. Decided to go to uni. Wasn't really sure what I was doing. I was studying psych just to try and figure out my own fucked up self. Didn't work. Lit. But in reality, like, in the end, I ended up becoming a youth worker and I learned more about myself through interacting with other people that I would have learned from uni. And because like of my time as a youth worker, I'm so thankful for it. That's what's led me to creating different kind of genius. Just like having access to more positive role models, like when you want it. Do you know what I mean? Because I understand that when I was a young person, people told me what to do all the time, but it was me that wasn't listening. Whether it be fucking what was going on and shit, like there were just certain factors in my life that prevented me from hearing it. But if I had the opportunity to go back and fucking listen to someone talk positively on YouTube and shit, and that was probably you, in like your own little way. No, but like
that's what's bad about it.
No, but even the That's a Rap days, I think because it was someone I could identify with who looked like me, I was just like,
At the time, yeah. I hear you. At that time in life, I would have listened, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I fully understand you. Yeah, fully understand. And that's
people I
do.
Yeah, and that's
in that capacity.
Straight up, and that's literally what birthed this. And fuck, now look at it, man. Like, I've been doing it for like, I think I've got 25 episodes out. I'll put this one out just like as a special one because it's going against all our rules. But that's another thing I fucking adopted from you. There are no rules except for some limitations. Sometimes there might be some boundaries around what we have to do. But aside from that,
we don't say it wrong. We just say it on the net because, like, that's what the no rules actually stands for. Specs made it up. Shout out Specs. It's just because there's online.
Specs Gonzalez. There's none, bro.
Imagine like online, the most searched thing is porn and violence.
Bro, that's the only thing we really pump our money into still. Think about when virtual reality came out. How come I can't play a solo game, but I can watch full VR porn? It's like, you clearly, like, you have one intention here, don't you?
There's a market for it. People will buy into that. So it's like, just knowing that that's the most searched things on the internet, I just can't take it too serious. It just doesn't make sense. Like, things like that just don't make sense to me. So I just take it with a pinch of salt, or I identify the spaces that I think is really important to get this information on the internet. But on a whole, if there's information that makes me feel really infuriated, I just look about, why am I getting angry about this? Like, if this is a world where the most searched thing is sex and violence, then people are prone to say these types of things. It seems quite sexual, it seems quite violent or quite vile. Like, this exists here. Why am I getting upset about it? It's always existed here. If I get upset now, I'll be getting upset for the rest of my life because it's always going to exist. So just with them principles in my mind, I just have a different, I don't really care.
And you can't, because at the end of the day, people on the internet, they say they care, but they fucking don't.
No.
Like, I'll fake care for a little bit about some shit, and then I'll forget about it, and the next thing will pop up, and then, like, life just keeps revolving.
That's fucked, man. Life is like, that's the reason why it's even sick that you learned what you learned for education and then decided to take a different path, which was unique for you. Because what you didn't do is you didn't let whatever you was learning, you didn't let that define the direction you went in. You went in any direction you want. There was a purpose that you were going to university for, which was probably bigger than the educational purposes. And I think those are the people I really connect with because you're going against social norms, which is a very difficult thing to do. You're growing up in an environment where everybody tells you this is the right way to behave, this is the right way to respond to certain situations. And it's up to you as a human being, sometimes influenced by nothing else other than your mindset, to go, no, I'm not doing that.
Bro.
And that is very difficult.
And then, just as you were saying it before, like how you think the way you think, me growing up in the area that I grew up, like I was literally fucking, it was me and my brother and my best mate. We were the only 3 black kids in my hometown.
Actually.
But, no, you say that, bro. like I'm a big cunt. Like I'm not little. Like I'm fucking 6'7". So I was just so yeah, bro. If I stood up right now, like I can't even stand up in the room I'm in. It's that small.
That's lit.
If I wasn't that big, bro, my life would have been completely different. So I'm just thankful for everything that I experienced. But like,
I mean, you always would have been that size then. Like, that's the reasons why you were placed in that environment and you were given that size, is because they believed you would have the mental capacity to come through it. And if you're able to come through it, you become a great person. And I'm not going to claim to know you that well, or know you at all, but you seem like a really good person. So that's why I'm saying, like, always be thankful for the process, because without it, you don't have the outcome. So don't be like, oh, fuck, if you're really happy with the outcome, don't be pissed off with the process. That was the process needed for this outcome. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Even when I make a music video, sometimes things do not one music video, everything's gone according to plan. But that's because it's not meant to. That was set as a guideline, say, no matter what, at least we have a reference point to go to. We can't do it minute for minute on here. No, don't get fixated around that. Like, just know that is our guideline to whenever we fuck up. And if people looked at even education like that, that would be so much healthier for you. But the thing is, you don't look at education as a guideline. You don't look at education as, you don't look at all the things that education teaches you that's not actually saying that it teaches you. Like, it teaches you time management. No one tells you that because they think they're more focused on you learning maths and all of these other subjects that you don't listen to. But time management is something you'll always need. So it says to you, boom, you've got to be here for 9 o'clock and you've got to leave for 3:30. Time management's important. It then actually teaches you the significance of organizing your day. All right, today I've got maths, English, and something else. These are the tools I've got to bring up for today. Like, these are very, very important skills that you need to learn, because when you have children, for example, because of the time management I had in school, I now learn, all right, cool. So today I've got to bring this, because at this time we're going to be doing that. And at that time, like, I've learned that from school. But I didn't even realize I learned it from school until I got older and realized that, without school, maybe I wouldn't even have these fucking skills. So I'm very thankful for the things that education taught me. But I don't like the perspective of telling me, as a society, that this information will guarantee me financial gain. Like, why are you lying to me? That's not fair. That's not fair. Say to me, this process we're giving you of educating yourself could potentially help you in the wider world. It's a guideline. There's loads of other things you can be taught within this parameter. But because society has an agenda, they just teach you what you teach you because they were trying to teach you. Sorry to go on, but I'm trying to let people know this. I feel like education and all of these things are teaching people how to take instructions, so you never become a boss, because you're more concerned with what instructions you need to take in order to carry out a task than actually being the person carrying out the task. Because even the people that come into school have the perception of being a boss, i.e. a head teacher, a normal teacher, a supply teacher. All of these people have the perception that they're a boss because they control a small parameter of individuals due to a young age. But essentially, you've been given instructions to give these people. Like what you're doing right now is you've decided to make a podcast, not because anyone's told you, because it's instructions you're giving yourself. That means you're free to think whatever you want. There's no rules with how you do this. You make the rules. You make the time parameters. You use all the skills you've learned in school in terms of organization and you apply it to this. And if you run it the way they run schools have been a successful business for years. That means you can make this, what you're doing right now, a successful business by just having the same parameters and having similar and the same principles as school. We're going to turn up at 9 o'clock. We're going to film for 2 hours. Afterwards, we're going to do a half an hour review of it. Then later on that night, I'm going to send you all the notes in an email. We discuss it the following morning. And then we say, all right, cool. This is what we're going to do for the next one. We look for a guest between Thursday and Saturday. Like by applying that to what you're doing, all you're doing is giving your shit structure. All schools have structure. You're giving it times. Everything in school has a time. You're giving it a particular type of person that's meant to be there. That happens in school as well. Assembly, there's a particular group of people that are there. To PE, these are all the parameters that you learn in school, but they don't make it a thing. You just take, I've got to learn this education. Nah, bro, there's life skills in there. And if you apply that to everything you're doing, I swear to God, you'll be a success. There's no way you can't not be a success by applying things that you've learned in school, which has made them a success. Them teaching maths hasn't made them a success. That's not made the school successful. Making the school successful is having an organized school where people say the teachers are very well informed. It starts on time. It closes on time. By having the basics principles of business, your school will be good. Doesn't even matter if the fucking students are pricks.
True.
So this is what I want people to really, really take on board and take themselves more serious, irrespective of what people say. Like you're doing this podcast. I don't give a fuck if 10 people listen. You make sure them 10 people feel very, very happy.
Bro, I'm just fortunate. My hometown, I'm from a few hometowns, and they've gotten behind. Like, it's different here too, because no one's really doing it.
Good.
Yeah, so it's like, but then, like, fuck, man, I'll go through the same shit. Like, everybody's telling me, it's like, why are you choosing to do this? You had a nice job. You had a salary, rah, 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 rah. I'm like, but that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I thought I wanted to do, but it wasn't making me happy. It's not until I'm doing this shit, which fucking doesn't even make me any money, but I just love having conversations with dope people that I learn from every single time.
If you want to make money from it, you have to think to yourself. This is why I love meeting people, why I love talking to people. By me speaking to loads of different people, I learn more. By learning more about people, I'm going to learn how to be more successful amongst people in life because I'm learning how to engage and to communicate with people, which allows me, and if I keep having good conversations with various types of people, I'm now learning how to conduct myself, how to operate. I'm learning respect. I'm learning all of these of different cultures.
I hear you completely.
That people skill is so important. It's more important than anything I think you'll do in life. Because no matter what, you have to engage with people. You can learn French. You can learn French and get an A in absolutely everything. But eventually, you've got to go to France. Now, just because you know the language, there's no guarantee you're going to get along with everyone. Everyone's not going to go, well, you know French, so let's talk to you loads. Everyone here speaks French. After a little while, you're just going to be another Australian or another English or another whatever person speaking French. There needs to be a way in which you understand that community. You need to understand how to engage with a particular type of French person. You need to learn all of these things. Otherwise, you just having that knowledge means fuck all because you don't know how to apply it. Whereas if I know how to apply myself, I might learn 50% of the French that you know, but be more successful. Just so I know how to talk to people. I know what that person wants to hear. I know what that person wants to hear. I know how that person wants to be treated. And I don't just know the language, but at least my mannerisms and the way in which I'm socializing with them will give them an understanding that I actually understand who they are as a person and what they want. That's more valuable than any education that you'll get. Like, much more valuable.
And you know what's so funny about that? Because you answered one of the problems I had. Like, I threw myself in the deep end and just started the podcast. I was like, fuck it. I'll figure it all out as time goes by. And it's not through having it's through having conversations with other people. They're like, well, have you created a business plan? Have you created a marketing plan? You're like, no, I just fucking did shit. And it's now I'm getting the help for that where I'm like,
course, because
Thank
you're
you.
doing something.
And all,
And
I'm
then
just
you're
grateful.
interacting with people, and who are helping you? People. Yeah, these skills are great, but you never had these skills. But by doing something and doing what you know really, really well, people are going to be like, have you got this? Okay, cool, I'll do it for you, because they see you're working. So that skill set that someone said to you, go and learn, go and learn, go and learn. You didn't learn it, you've done something else, but now someone's come in and said, let me help you with this. And you kind of reciprocate the help and understand the help, and are probably going to get the help because you know how to talk to people. So essentially, you being able to talk to people has helped you so much more than learning how to do a business plan. Because if you learn how to do the business plan, you wouldn't have made a new friend. You wouldn't have found out that person's skill set. You wouldn't immerse them involved in what you're doing. Like, people skills is so sick. The moment people actually understand how important it is.
And it's and people bro, you know what's the weirdest thing ever? People like, why do you enjoy having conversations all day? I'm like, because that's how I learn.
Mm.
And I'm like, without that, I'm like, I don't know. I just like, fuck. I really like, because I engage with people and I really have to listen to what they say. Like, I think there's so much involved in a conversation. Like, it's firstly, you have to be able to listen. Firstly, you have to be able to understand. And then thirdly, you have to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
And like, if one of those three things like aren't involved, like the message that we're both trying to tell each other, like something about it's gonna be fucked up.
I get lost. 100% agree. 100% agree. It's so important, man. Like, I want you to be a success with your podcast so badly because I feel like you deserve it. You really do. You are a really good person. You're very appreciative. All of these basic principles that humans just don't have, you seem to have. And I can honestly say, bro, if you're just patient, everything will work out the way you want it to work out.
Bro, like I
And if
fucking
you
could
get
not
a job,
thank you anymore.
if you get a job, understand this one thing, the things that I did. Because in my job, I still have to do jobs, you know? Like, I look back on a situation now where I'm not with Copper 90 and be like, what's a job, really? I worked hard for them. I never disrespected them in the sense of like intentionally going out and not completing something because I want to spike them. I worked hard. I brought in ideas. I dedicated myself to the situation. I've done as much as I could have done. But essentially, it was a job. So what I used, all the finances I got from that, I didn't immerse myself in the world of me, or I didn't immerse myself in, I'm making a lot of money, life's great. No, I said, all right, cool. I need to build communities outside of this that I have more of a say in, that I have more control in, that I can dictate the pace and direction of. Because at the end of the day, I've just got myself to deal with. I want to be a boss of something, even if it's small. So I don't mind working somewhere and being frustrated and going through all these emotional situations if it means that I can channel that energy into something positive at some point, because I accept that there's going to be challenges in life. I accept things are going to be difficult. I accept that I'm not going to want to do some of the things that I'm doing, but I'm not going to walk away from these situations. If I can find 15 to 20% positivity, I'm going to channel that and increase that volume. And when it gets to 50%, I'll probably walk out because the balance is right now for me. So within that 30% getting there, all of these things will happen. So I can say within that 30%, my podcast, HALFCAST, we've got a sold out show in 2 weeks.
Bro, like fucking, when you say Chucky, tell the man, another man from Australia loves the Don, but continue.
But that's the good thing about me. I started a podcast in 2013. No one was doing podcasts. I don't know why I agreed to Chucky to doing it. I was just like, Chucky, I saw Chucky do one with Wiley. I was like, Chucky, let's just do it. And nobody was doing podcasts. Nobody of a particular, I don't want to sound arrogant, but nobody that is in a particular space. Like, everyone that was doing podcasts then would have a very small following to the point where no one would really be knowing them in our scene at our level. There would be no really real awareness of it. So I'm the first person. So I'm not really inspired by anything other than my friend Chucky, because I think he's dope. So we've done a podcast and it's grown into this podcast community that exists now. But because of that, I was one of the first people there. That means I can do a sold out show, because now that community of podcasters in London have become very big. And naturally, people always look back and go, what made you start doing a podcast? Poet. What made you start doing a podcast? Poet. What made you start doing a Poet Chucky? Their podcast was kind of inspired. They facilitated it. So now we grow amongst that because we're almost like the founding people. At the time, you're never going to see the money from it. But because you started early, you done everything early, it just means that we started in 2013, 6 years down the line, we have a sold out show. Now we can really push on from here, and I can make that something bigger. So I don't have to worry about corporate that much. I've done Filthy Fellas, 2014, when we done Filthy Fellas. There was no financial revenue coming in from it. There was no way it could elevate or help anyone really apart from social currency. Now, Mitch quitted work from that. He now does a full-time career. Steve-O quitted work because of the help of Filthy Fellas. Harry Pinero got to quit work because of the help of Filthy Fellas. My boy Specs Gonzalez got to quit work because of the help of Filthy Fellas. Miles can work short hours at work because of the help of Filthy Fellas. Like, the list is endless of people within that situation. So our community that we built there has got financial revenue. I don't have to worry about the finances of Copper anymore because now I've got HALFCAST and Filthy Fellas being able to help me out. And I can extend that to Vibbar, which has helped me. I can extend that to Poet and Vuj, has helped me. I can extend that to Gasworks. All of these situations that I create outside, I just make money to finance what I want to do. Because essentially, I know at some point, I'm going to have to leave this company because it's not mine. There's nothing that says I'm going to be here forever. I don't like the aspect of getting comfortable out of ignorance. Why should I be comfortably ignorant? Imagine someone goes to me, go wait in this house. The sofa's amazing, but you got to wait there for 5 hours and you're going to receive a package in 5 hours' time. Yeah, the house is comfortable. It's beautiful. The sofas are great. I could fall asleep, but essentially, I don't know what's happening in 5 hours' time. So I'm never really comfortable despite the luxurious environment. And that's Copper 90. Yeah, it's a really nice environment, but I don't even know what's happening in a year's time. So I have to prepare myself for the worst. So that's what I was doing when I was creating all of these wonderful opportunities subconsciously. And that's what I would say with you. Like, if you do go and get a job, use it to fund this. And then in 3 years' time, this will be something that can kind of fund itself. And then you use this to fund something else. Before you know it, you've got 7 different revenues that you've basically helped fund after you was always getting money from one source. With me, luckily, the money I was getting was so big I could source loads of different things. And now I'm at a point where I've left there and I'm cool. I'm comfortable. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about that. And then I could be stepping into a new situation very soon, which means I'm going to finance new situations. I'm going to make new stuff. And before you know it, I'll have like 10, 11 different things happening. And I can just sit down at home and do nothing. And all of these wonderful things happen. And obviously, I can just do consultancy for them now, or my role within these companies can completely change. But the service it provides is unique. It cares about the culture, and people will grow from it. And I just think the role that I'm playing, whatever the fuck it is, bro, you could play that in Australia very easily.
Bro,
very easy.
Our Australian hip-hop scene, bro, imagine we're literally, and I've been telling people this, like, I'm very fortunate that I know some of the right Australian rappers, blah, 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 blah. Like, they're not big names. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Those that are willing. And then now the best thing is I've got the bigger names, so now the other ones are showing a bit more interest into it.
Good.
But long story short, I'm trying to, like, do what you did for That's a Rap, the whole cypher element in Australia.
But this is where I'm saying, we got to understand translation.
Yeah.
Translation is very important because I understand what works for my community because I'm in my community every day, walking around my community. My thing was influenced by different situations. So the only reasons why I knew the cypher would work because how I would package it. I would package it in a wealth of entertainment. So I was like, cool. How did I even come to the cypher? So when it made to That's a Rap, I was doing something called Poets Corner before that. So I was standing in front of the camera in my work uniform, which happened to be a Tottenham uniform, and I supported Arsenal, which was lit. So I'm standing in my work uniform, and I would talk about social issues within my community, but make it very comedic. And then I built a very big hood following. Like, everyone in the hood was fucking with me because I was one of the few people that was speaking about the things that they were going through. And then it was like, what? A man from North is going through that as well. And they're in South. And then a man from Brum might be, and then someone that's not from any of that would watch it and find the comedy elements about it because they understand the stereotypes that people may have built about that, like black boys' teeth and black boys are late and all of that. And I would play off those things in order to create whatever I was doing out of ignorance. I didn't know what was going on, but it was a bit of a laugh. So I understand my community. But now it's time, I'm getting bored. Everyone's doing what I'm doing. Everyone's like, bare people are doing it. When I started, it was me, T-Boy, AO Online. I don't really remember much people apart from that. Now everyone's doing it. I don't want to do it no more. What's the elevated version of this? I want to bring back a show like The Lick. The Lick was a show on MTV based with Trevor Nelson. I was like, cool, I want to be like Trevor Nelson, but I don't need to be Trevor Nelson. Like, I'm light-skinned, I'm kind of funny, Kind of cute dress, kind of dress well. I could represent the new wave. I could be the new lick. But what does the new lick want? What does the new consumer want? What do I like? I am the new consumer. I like ciphers. What ciphers do I like the most? BET ciphers. All right, I'm going to watch some BET ciphers. Is that how you make it? I'm going to try and make a similar thing to that, but mad UK authentic. So we went and shot it in a park. Every hood has a park with swings. We're just going to go shoot it in a park. So now somebody else that is doing this cipher might copy us and go and shoot it in the park because it's easy to duplicate. You can recognize the environment straight away. You now might want to come to that park. Oh my God, this is the park where they shoot. That's the rap. Like, that's the type of moments I want to create. Cool. So I'm going to do what I usually do, Poets Corner, and add that. What else do people like? People like new, fresh talent, which is left that you can't find. If I'm the person providing left talent and I'm the only person doing it, I may not make the most money. I may not get the most attention, but I'm the only person doing what I do. So when you come here, that means you care a little bit more than going to a pop act or because there's various pop acts. The conversations could be generic over here. Everything where I'm doing is specific. So if you come to me, you have to have specific conversations. Now, that level of thought, I didn't appreciate until now. Like, that is how much thought I was putting into this, saying how we're going to attack different demographics. I've got my audience that I run joke with, but we're going to show new acts. So people that love new music and people that want to be the new music are going to watch that. And then the ciphers, everyone raps. We have to do it. Bro, it was just 3 different audiences getting pulled in every single week when I dropped the show.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't even understand how I was manipulating it. That's all I was doing. I was like, this is not difficult. I just want 3 different audiences. And then they kept coming in and coming in and coming in. Now, I knew what was right for my community. In order for you to do it, you've got to take a look at all of the things that exist within your community, even that you're not interested in. Because that's the pulling power. It needs to be recognizable things where people are like, we've got that in our hood, or we've got that. And to the point where now, if you want to do it global, play off the things that people know Australia to be like. So if I was going to do another show tomorrow, I might start drinking a cup of tea in the hood. Like, I would start off the show where it would do a close-up of a cup of tea, and you would say, English tea. You've already thought England. And as it zooms out, you might see some Top Boy shit. Like, yeah, we still drink tea, though. True. Like on some dish. And then instantly you're like, I have the very conventional, very slapstick, very, oh my God, I drink tea perception of London. But when it zooms out, it's like, wait a minute. This is kind of like Top Boy. This is kind of like grime. Right, this is like a paradox. This is 2 different worlds. Do you mean man them that are bad like this still drink the tea that like the middle class England drink? That's so lit.
Bro, I get you.
I think you really make it lit.
And then, because that's like, I wasn't saying copy that model exactly, but more or less we're in that similar age. Remember how grime was just only big where you are? That's how I feel Australian hip hop is right now. And we just need that one thing to sort of just, I don't know. You get me all too well. So I'm thinking about all those things and I'm like, what do we have? I know we've got rappers that are talented. I know we have people that are willing to watch, but these people just aren't coming together.
Where's that singer? There's a singer. She done a video in a basketball court.
Is that from Australia?
From Australia.
The singer in a basketball court.
She's very, very, very conscious in a sense of like, I like the way she operates. She's got a very particular style. What's her name? Damn it.
Was she black or white?
She's a browning still. She's plus size. Ooh. She's lit. When I say lit.
Could be talking about, oh, I forgot her name. I'm spewing. But she actually knows my cousin. I'm fucking spewing. Give me 1 second, bruv. Because I want to put her on. I want to put her on because she deserves it.
There you are.
Oh, Sampa the Great. I'm pretty sure it was Sampa the Great.
Let me see if I can tell. I can't remember what their names are, man. Fam, I know why I forget everything. I'm not going to share too much of it, but I imagine you get the idea.
I do.
So I forget everything, bro. But I think she has the power. Someone that will hopefully watch this will know exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. She is incredible. But unfortunately, I couldn't even find it in my search history because my baby mom logged out of my fucking YouTube and I don't remember my password. This is so upsetting.
Well, fuck. For post-production, I'll find it and I'll dub it in because she deserves. And know that she's a queen from Australia. Like,
Bro,
bro,
this girl is incredible. It's people like that, yeah, that have responsibility that they're not even aware of. Like when Peter Parker realized he was Spider-Man and thought, I don't really want to do this. But then it's like, but everyone loves you for it. Just do it like a couple of times and then you can just kind of put the power and responsibility on other individuals and then you can just come when it's big times. Like this girl has the power to build a community and then only turn up when she needs to be. She don't have to be there all the time. But I can't remember what her name is. But by her doing something like even her appearing on this podcast and speaking about the hip hop community in Australia and why it should come together, it will spark conversation. And that's all you need. People need to hear different opposing reasons why it's good. Because everyone has their own opinion, but there's not enough people to share it with. I need to find her name.
No,
now I'm going to promote her and I'm going to promote you better. We've got to make it happen.
I couldn't thank you anymore. But and that's what I've been trying to do. Because one of the biggest problems the Australian hip hop scene has is when you think Oz hip hop, you think white gutter rap. Like which like, oh yeah, no, like which is that makes me so happy that you say that. But here where we live, for the people trying to take over their hometowns, bro, like I've done fucking numerous episodes where we talk about it. But long story short, it's like we have Australian hip hop artists that are white that don't even that'll be so talented, but because of the negative stigma around it all, which is just recently changing, like they don't even actively like I can't even think of the way to describe it, but because they feel let down by their hometown, they're not brave enough to stand up and show the world that this is what we do.
Then they're not ready for that position to get them. There's no point thinking about people that are not ready for certain positions. I met so much of them in my life. I've met some of the best footballers, some of the best musicians. They weren't ready to take on the responsibility. It's bigger than just being talented. It's so much bigger than that.
That's real. That really is. And then because that's what I was about to say, there are a couple of artists, and fuck, only because you're in the UK, one of them just came there recently, chilling it. He's one of the Aussie rappers, and he's a sort of a big name. He's actually like, bro, he's bridged the gap. And I give him nothing but respect for that. Like he went on Charlie Sloth, bodied it. He went on SBTV, bodied it. And that was the first time where I was like going through the comments, I was like, people are actually respecting Australia for what it is. So I was like,
you need more examples of that. Oh, I'm never going to remember her name. This is really upsetting for me.
Oh, I'm going to hold on. I'm pretty sure it's Sampa. It's either Sampa the Great.
Let me say this.
Oh, on a basketball court.
That's not her.
It's not Sampa?
No.
Fuck. Who's... Oh, I'm spewing now as well.
And when I put it up, everyone's like, oh my God, bare Australian people hit me up.
True? Fuck. A chick. If it's not Sampa the Great, I'm spewing.
She's young as well.
Oh.
And I had to say...
I can't even it's...
Fuck, man.
Because that it blows you away that you've got someone on your on your radar. I really want to know who it is because that woman has done well.
I'm pissed, man. I'm actually never gonna find it until someone knows what I'm talking about. I'm so upset. I'm gonna go on my Instagram anyway and say it today. But I'm telling you, bro, someone like that can be the first.
Bro, and I just hope, we've got a little bit of a wave right now happening in Australia. I hope that the person you're talking about hears what you have to say and she fucking doubles down, which I'm sure she's doing anyway, but I don't.
She doesn't understand, I used to, fam. Bro. I don't even know fam, I'm so upset.
Oh, I really even want to get on Instagram and be like, tell me female Australian acts that are popping because we need to know right now.
So I'll get over it. I'm going to find it though. I'm going to text it to you.
Yeah, find it, text it to me. That number I called you off isn't my number, but just get at me on DMs.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy. But fuck, Poet, is there anything else that you want to let Australia know? Like, I get you're a busy man. I'm not going to waste your time.
Trust me, you couldn't waste my time, man. I wouldn't even answer the phone call. Believe me, man. You're a good guy. Nah, man. I really fuck with you, man. I'm proper happy to speak to you, and I want Australia to get behind you. I want you to continue to like not even be concerned about that, and go and get the biggest acts, have conversations with them, and try and let them know the significance and the importance of you lot building your own shit in Australia. Because if you lot do it mad early, like from now, in 10 years' time, it will be a thing that has buildings. It will be a thing that has presence on television. It will be a thing that people fly over the world to come and invest their time into. And you just got to ask yourself, what is going to be your role when that happens? And you have the ability to create that role right now because it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's like idea, action, result. You have an idea, put it into action. Every time you get a result, just improve on that. And I really would love in 10 years' time for me to be sitting down, probably smoking in Jamaica somewhere, and just switch on my television and see how successful you've been. Even if I never speak to you again, like that will make me so fucking happy. I swear to God.
That's my dream. And I hope that now that we've at least done this, like, remember how I messaged you? I was like, yo, if you fucking will let me, like, I will one day come to the UK when fucking, don't know when, and I will come and meet you and I'll come see the whole crew. And I'll try and bring people from here.
Bro, I swear to God, you can phone me whenever you want, message me, I don't care. Like, it's not deep at all. I swear to God, if it was an issue, I wouldn't do it. But I don't know. I don't really second guess a lot of my decisions. And if I don't worry, because if it was bad, I just wouldn't do it. But there's no issue in me talking to you at any point. If you ever need anything and I can provide it, please don't hesitate to contact me. Like, if I don't respond, I'm just a little bit busy at the time, but it doesn't mean that I'm not aware or I'm ignoring you, or it's nothing to do with that. Like, feel no way to message me, please.
Bro, do not even stress. I understand that there's 12 hours that separate us. Like, your day just started, my day's about to end, and I'm going to be a day ahead of you on the calendar. Like, it's fucked.
It's lit. It's fucking lit. There's no rules.
I hope one day we can do it, bro. I'd love to come over there. I'd love to meet Chucky. I'd love to meet Alhan. Love to meet fucking Skits. Like, even yourself. Just fucking...
Bro, we're here.
I'll make it happen. Oh, shit. One day if the Australian rap scene pops off so much, I'd be like, Poet, bring the man down. Come back.
Do you know what? I want to go anyway. I just want to go anyway, to be fair. I've always wanted to go to Australia.
Come to Australia. You can fucking stay at our crib. I will show you everything that I can. And
wait, where do you live in Australia as well?
So I live in Geelong, which is like, how do I describe it? Okay, so Melbourne is the capital city of like Victoria, like the hotspot. If you're going to come to Australia, go to... Sydney's got an emerging...
Spiders. I don't want to see snakes. I don't want to see lizards. I don't even want to see a kangaroo. I don't want to see none of that shit.
You don't?
I'm not... No.
Then go to Melbourne. Melbourne. Actually, go to Melbourne. Go to Melbourne because it's the city that never sleeps. And then where I live, it's Geelong. It's like 50 minutes from Melbourne, but it's like the coast. It's like the beach and shit. It's where like the surf and shit happens. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
But wait, how big are the spiders there?
Well, I'm not going to answer that question because you won't come, bro.
No, I just won't come to that part. How big are they? Massive.
Well, in Geelong, we're all right. If you go like up north, bro, they've got like, they have snakes and shit. Like, wait, and honestly, you tell you what's fucked. It's not that bad. I could be because I'm desensitized and I've grown up with it. Now I see a big spider, I'll just punch it. I'll be like, done. But
yeah, but if it bites you, what happens?
Yeah, our anti-venom's dope. Like, we have the anti-venom for every snake, every spider. I'm not selling Australia at all, bro. But this is
so if it bites me, I can just get the antidote and everything's fine.
Sweet. Literally, like, it's a jab, and like you're fine.
I don't give a shit, then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
I'm not gonna die. I don't care. My thing is, I just can't die in Australia. That would be like, no disrespect, but Jesus Christ, I'm like, is it really what it's come to? If I want to die, let me just at least die in my ass or die in Jamaica. Not Australia. That was never part of the plan.
You're not dying in Australia, bro. Fuck. And if you're with me, I'll fucking do my... I'll take a spider bite for you, bro. Don't you worry about that.
Please don't. That's too mad.
No, but like, man. Spiders, it's a beautiful place. It's hot. So like, if you're gonna
I
come,
love heat.
boy, aim for like December to like February, and you'll love it.
Honestly, you see hot weather. Oh, fam, I love hot weather, man. I just want to go. I just want to go. England is just so cold.
Bro.
So cold, bro.
And there's a lot of dope shit happening. I know at the start I said there isn't much cool shit, but if you know where to look, there's just enough. There's just enough.
That's lit.
There's
That's
just enough.
lit,
like that's the only thing that keeps all of us going. Like, fuck, we've got hip hop.
That's what I'm trying to
weekend, like everything.
Then, like, I try and tell all my brothers. I've got friends in so much different countries. I try and tell them the same thing. Like, I was fortunate enough to have Kano, Wiley, Getz, Dizzy, Lethal B, like So Solid, like Nasty Crew. I had all of these dope guys before me that showed me you can do what you want. Bro, do what you want. If you want the scene, be the person that starts creating it. I swear to God, it can happen. It will happen. Don't say, oh, we've just got a bit of this. And bro, you can make it happen, bro. You've got foresight. You're a really good person. Like, you've got different things to your mechanics that can make you mad successful, bro. Like mad successful, and create this hip hop scene. If you create a night where it's a safe environment for everyone to come and share their musical experiences in a very unique manner. Maybe it's like you play music, it's a normal night, but then for 1 hour, you play a different hot new hip hop song from the Australian scene. Every 15 minutes, you play for like 4 acts, or they might come out and perform. I don't know. But introduce a nice way where people will be like, not put off by it. And they'll be like, hey, that kind of mix of everything. That's kind of all right, you know, like mix it in the way it organically should be mixed in. Like, don't make a thing of it. Like, we're Australian hip hop. It's more like, no, we love hip hop. And you know what? We have our place, but we're willing to take our time. But for now, drip feed, give them one performance, or do you know what I mean? Just something that people will.
Yeah, we're not like, bro, we're doing that in Geelong because Melbourne's, I'm not gonna lie, it's fucked. There are so many rappers and there are so many people trying to rap where their shows aren't big. In Geelong, we've kept them to every 3 months. And like, we get a solid crowd. Like, we get 200-300 people in a venue. That's not even a big venue. We're filling the capacity of the venue, and people are fucking having so much fun to the point where we are attracting that Melbourne crowd. And all, like, as you said, bro, we just got to stay consistent.
Stay consistent. Like, don't think everyone in London's getting grands, my bro, for people watching. Like, no. Like, our venue, we've sold out for the Vibber show. They're happy. 350 people. Like, I'm happy, but if we'd done 1,000, there's no guarantee that we would sell out at all.
Bro, 1,000 people, that's a lot of cunts to like put in the same venue.
Like, to invest their time to say, I'm going to dedicate 3, 4, 5 hours to this one individual or group of people in my life. Like, that's a lot of time. So if you get 200-300 people in a scene that doesn't really exist in Australia, for you not to understand, you have a huge responsibility, bro. Like, how are you now making them people's experience day to day? What are you doing for them day to day? Is there a site where they can come and take a look at all the pictures? Is there a site where they can go and see various new situations happening and manifesting? Is there merch? You need to make people live. You need to give it identity so they feel like they're a part of something. It shouldn't just be like, I go to a rave every 3 months. It needs to be bigger than that. You need to be making toothbrushes. You need to be making ashtrays. You need to be making things within that community where it's like, they're going to consistently use. If you know you have loads of smokers, why are you not making smoking utensils with your branding all over it so people can go, yeah, that's from that event, or that's lit, or do you know where I'm coming from? Because then people feel like they're a part of something. They're like, yeah, cuz, like, oh, you don't know about this thing. Yeah, they do it every 3 months. It's just and then now it's a lighter. So you're advertising your brand in someone's house every single day for a year. Like, these are the things that you need to do. Get in people's homes, exist in their home, and you won't die. They're always going to be there. Like, Sensodyne are smart. Every morning I have to see Sensodyne, so I'm brushing my teeth. My kids are going to be like, they're going to look at the toothpaste. They identify with Sensodyne. Now Sensodyne's just been running through my family for like how many generations? Like, that concept, again, like, people do things for us to learn, but we just don't take a look at what we should be taking a look at. We look at what it is rather than what it can be. Like, you can do that. Like, what can you do that lives in someone's home to advertise your brand? Like, those are the things you've got to do.
I get you, brother. And all I got to do is do more, because we have the shows that pop off, and then we have our podcast. Like, unfortunately, every week a new episode comes out. And when we put an episode out, people are like, how did I miss that? And so we're just like, all right. Yeah, like, which is, I'm so thankful.
So much happening in people's day. You need to live in people's homes. Even when they switch off their TV, it needs to be there. Think of whatever that is unique to Australia. I don't know, there could be Australian beads on a door. Everyone has them. Then make some beads on a door, but find a unique one where it has when you look at the beads, it has your logo on it. So every time people walk through it, they see your logo. That means every single second of every day, you're advertising your brand to about 4 people who are going to invite people around, who are going to make Instagram videos. They could make an Instagram video that pops of them doing something stupid in their house with a spider, and a spider happens to be right next to your logo. You've just got bare free promo, but you're not even putting yourself in that conversation. Like, that's mad to me.
Bro,
come on.
I just figured it out. I had to write that down in my phone. Like,
no, then don't do it, bro. Because once you do that, I'm telling you, those are the things that elevate your brand. What are you doing to make people ask questions? You're answering everyone's questions now. You're delivering a podcast every week. They get what it is. We get bored as people like that. There's too much things to do in 24 hours. You're going to give me 15 minutes and think that I'm going to be dedicated. Nah, bro, I'm dedicated to my children because I'm always there. I'm dedicated to my house because I'm always here. I'm dedicated to my job because I'm always in it. Like, you need to give people that level of dedication, and you have to make it easy for them to access, not make it an effort. To switch on the TV is an effort. To go to a show is an effort. So to pick up a cigarette and smoke and look at an ashtray is not an effort. To pick up a toothbrush, it's not an effort. These things are not efforts. To make a glass, I might just drink out the glass because I need a glass. These are not efforts. These are things that I use. To make a T-shirt, well, it's not an effort. I might just put on a T-shirt to go to bed. I don't know. Like, bro, make it easy for people.
I'm going to message you what I'm going to do, and I'm going to explain why, and you are going to die. Like, it's so stupid, but it answers everything that you talk about, and no one fucking does it.
Bro, that is how you become a multi-millionaire. And imagine you become a millionaire, but you're not really working. You're just having a good time. We're just here to have a good time.
Bro, ever since you started saying that, until I was like, I'm just trying to have a nice time.
Yeah, that's it. Like, if this is not a good time, why are we doing it? Like, I don't want to be upset.
And like, it's almost because my energy's changed now where I say that, and people are like, but what about this? What about that? I'm like, I don't need to worry about all that. As long as today I've had a nice time, tomorrow hopefully I'll have a nice time.
And I understand having bad times if it's going to equate to a nice time. So the stress I'm going through to do my live show means sometimes in the day I'm like, oh God, long. Or like the situation with my children, sometimes long. But I just want to have a good time. So I understand that I have to go through this in order to have a good time. I'm willing to do that. I'll be patient to have a good time. But if I'm doing something, there's no guarantee, or I can't see how it's going to equate to me having a good time, there's no point in me doing it. I don't really argue. I just can't bother with loads of things because there's no point. I'm not going to have a good time.
Bro, I get you completely. And I think, there are 2 things that you said that have influenced my life incredibly. The first one, don't take Panadol for another man's headache.
It's not a point. Bro. My boy TJ from Kufe, from Vibba. My boy TJ from Vibba, he come up with that saying. Genius.
It has that has done me so many favors.
Yeah, we take paracetamol. So when someone's got a headache, get paracetamol. We're like, don't take it for someone else's headache. We're like, that's someone else's problem. It happens so many times in the day with me. Oh, poet, I need money because I've got to do this thing and rare. And I'm like, I understand that situation you have. I really do. But it's not my situation. I have my own problems. I'm afraid I can't help you. And some people find that very difficult. I'm like, you're allowed to find it difficult because even you finding it difficult and you arguing, you getting upset is all your problem.
Key word, poet, all your problem. That's not my problem. That is yours. So good luck. I'm just trying to have a nice time.
Just trying to have a good time. I recognize this is not making you have a good time. So I don't understand why you think I want to do it because clearly you're not having a good time. So I'm just going to walk away from this. But God bless. Thank you. And I wish you the best of luck. And that's how I deal with things, man.
Poet. I couldn't thank you anymore, my brother. I know this is like the 3rd time we've wrapped up, but this time I'm going to let you go.
There's no rules.
Fuck. You made my fucking night, which just means hopefully it's like I've had so much positive shit happen today, waiting for this moment, and you just fucking topped off the day so well, bro. I couldn't thank you anymore.
You're lit. Thank you so much, bro. Have a good day.
Bro, thank you.
Do whatever the hell I gotta do now.
I'm gonna go church with my brother. I really fucking do. I really fucking do. Yeah, man. Like, fuck, I don't think I could do much for you, but if you ever just want to talk to a cunt from Australia because you're bored, whatever, call my phone.
Man, everyone can do anything. Trust me, you're good, man. Like, if you ever hit me, like, this has helped me as well. It's really nice to talk to a nice person, fam. Don't be silly. I don't want you to think this is like all one way. It's not. So thank you, my bro. I appreciate it, fam.
Bro, I appreciate you. I really, really do. But fuck, shit. The day that I can come to the UK, I'll hit you up. I'll try to do it soonish, but we're a long way away. So it's like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Fam. No drama, bro. But go and enjoy your night. And I'm going to work, I think. Oh, long.
Bro, go have a nice time.
That's it, innit?
That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Po, I really appreciate you, my brother. I really do. I'll see you soon, man.